Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Celestial Tree. I'm an astrologer and intuitive reader, and today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Capricorn on the 18th of Jan, happening at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So make sure to check your charts for any planets or points and placements that are around 28 degrees of cardinal signs, so Capricorn, Cancer, Aries and Libra, as this might be where you feel the energy of the new moon the most. Before I get started, here is a gentle reminder. If you would like a reading from me, you can book with me on my website at celestialhealingrealm.com, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more horoscopes and astrology updates. This year I'm gonna try and be as consistent as I can. Because YouTube, when I'm busy, YouTube just gets neglected. Also, Happy New Year, everybody. So it is our first new moon of the year. It's a very potent, energetic reset and our first point of reference for the new year in terms of like frequency and the intentions we set for the year ahead. I find it really interesting that the year 2026 is a 1 year as well, kind of highlighting the energy of a new beginning. So I feel like the new moon in Capricorn is in particular will be very strong energetically for setting intentions for the rest of the year, which I'm quite excited about. I do have a 2-part video series on the astrology of 2026 up on my channel, so if you want to hear more about the energy of 2026 and the key transits that are going to happen this year, be sure to have a look at my channel for that. This new moon in Capricorn, it almost feels like the beginning of a video game. You know, you get to choose your character that you're going to be for the entire game. This is kind of the same sort of energy. It gives us like an indication of the energy that we're going to carry with us for the rest of the year. The new moon comes to us at a time where we have a lot of energy in the sign of Capricorn and also the sign of Aquarius as well. It's in conjunction to both Mercury and Mars over in Capricorn, but also Venus and Pluto over in Aquarius. So it's a really incredibly potent time for, calling in your spirit guides, your ancestors, to kind of help you align your energy with the intentions you're setting for the year ahead. Get your journals out, especially because we've got Mercury's influence here. Mercury is all about the thoughts and communication and also strategizing in the sign of Capricorn. So get your journals out, write down, create a vision board, or even make a voice recording of yourself detailing exactly how you want the year to be. Pull some cards for the year ahead and remind yourself that Capricorn energy is about commitment. I think both Capricorn and Aquarius are ruled by the planet Saturn. Aquarius, in modern astrology is ruled by Uranus, but traditionally it was ruled by Capricorn. It was ruled by Saturn, which is all about maturity, commitment, discipline, and building. Capricorn is the architect of the zodiac, so it's important to think about the building blocks of your dreams and how you can sort of cultivate more discipline and commitment to kind of make those dreams happen. It's time to kind of lay the foundations for the year ahead and begin the year strategically and committed to your goals and your dreams. And the energy to do that is there. We also have Mars, the planet of motivation and drive, in the sign of Capricorn as well. So lay those bricks, guys. And with that being said, it's time to give you guys your horoscopes for our first new moon of the year. And please do remember to listen to both your sun sign and your rising sign as well. Aries suns and Aries risings. This new moon in Capricorn will fall in your 10th house of career, public reputation and status. Your ambitions and achievements will probably be at the forefront of your mind. And this is not just a good time to set intentions around what your career goals and your ambitions are, but it's also a really good time to take stock of how far you've come as well. what you have already achieved and what you can do to sort of strengthen and take bigger strides this year with your career and ambitions. That's going to be really, really important. Capricorn themes like tangible rewards, recognition, increased responsibility, promotions and progress are key themes for this new moon in this area of your chart. And it's a great time to reassess things and sort of come up with strategies to actualize these things as well. And go big as well. Don't think small. Yes, maybe because your nervous system is not attuned to bigger things yet, but I think it's so important that we dream big and we hold on to that vision, while you and the forces unseen also work to co-create and bring that vision into reality. It is a 1 year, so step into that energy of new beginnings and align yourself with a new vision career-wise. It might not be easy and the path might not be smooth, or it could be, we don't know. But my point is, this is the beginning of a new career cycle for you, Aries. So get your journals out, write down your dreams and work on making them happen. Taurians, Taurus suns and Taurus risings. This new moon in Capricorn will happen in your 9th house of beliefs, higher learning and overseas travel. It is the area of your chart that rules expansion, and it is time for some new intentions when it comes to expanding your worldview, which I know might feel a little bit weird for you, Taurus, because I know you guys like your comfort zones, but your comfort zone, as warm and as fuzzy as it is, it can only bring you so far when it comes to your personal horizons. I feel like this is a time where you might be craving deeper, more meaningful experiences, and those desires are really good things to focus on with this particular new moon. What do you want to learn about? What do you want to study in order to increase your knowledge of yourself and the world around you this year? Where do you want to travel to gain new perspective and develop your sense of independence and freedom? These are the questions, and they're very important things to think about around this time. With Mercury and Mars also in this area of your chart, try to write these things down or share them with like a trusted friend who fully supports your endeavors. This house also rules over your beliefs. So is this the year that you return your focus to the unseen and the spiritual side of things? Things that will help you cultivate a deeper sense of meaning. Things that will help you cultivate wisdom and knowledge are going to be at the forefront of your mind. So please do lean into that energy and think big. You'll be surprised how quickly the universe does reward you when you step away from playing it small and dive head first into your desires. So do keep that in mind around the time of this new moon. Gemini suns and my fellow Gemini risings. This is quite an intense but empowering new moon for you guys and for me as well. It will fall in your 8th house of shared resources, psychological transformations and intimacy. So let's talk about intimacy for a second. You've just had a new moon in Sagittarius on December 20th in your 7th house of relationships, where you may have entered into a new relationship or moved your partnership to a new level. This new moon is a time where you might enter into a new exploration when it comes to intimacy. So how you practice it, what it means to you. And that can be quite intense because it means facing parts of yourself that are quite vulnerable, which, as a Gemini, you're kind of like, oh, could really do with skipping over that. But it is the perfect time to set intentions around the forms and shapes like you want your ideas of intimacy to take this year. And keep in mind that true intimacy does require trust at the very least. Now, in terms of your psychological transformations, this is a time where you are shedding bad habits, unhelpful thought patterns and cycles, and releasing and transmuting these things in order for you to move through the rest of the year feeling lighter and more self-aware. You might become aware of some of the things that you want to let go of ahead of the new year. especially when it comes to your psyche and your own internal motivations, which if you're able to face will make this new moon really, really powerful and very potent, Geminis. It's also a really good time to sit down with a partner and make some new financial goals and think about the joint financial ventures that you want to partake in the coming year. Increased security, deeper intimacy, and transmutation are the key themes for you around this time, Geminis. So stay focused, because your efforts in these areas will definitely be worthwhile. Cancerians, Cancer suns and Cancer risings. This new moon in Capricorn will fall in your 7th house of relationships, marriage and contracts. This new moon brings your one-to-one connections into focus and asks you to set some new intentions in these areas. When it comes to your business and romantic partnerships, how can you start fresh or strengthen those connections going into the new year? There could be a new partnership in either one of those areas on the horizon. It does feel like a new journey is beginning, and there is something brewing in regards to your awareness of your needs and the needs of a partner as well. It's a great time to sign a contract or negotiate your terms and conditions as a romantic partner or a business partner. If you are feeling like you need some extra support from a partnership around this time, please do not be afraid to express and communicate that, because there is supporting energies from both Mars and Mercury in the same area of your chart. So conversations, negotiations regarding support and sharing are highly favorable around this time. 7th house also rules over enemies and haters. So if you do feel like some of those types of people are coming up to the forefront, consider if the universe is kind of bringing these people and their energy to teach you something. You know, it could be something to do with stepping into your power, something to do with building more authenticity, or like upping your game in some way. So do keep that in mind around the time of this new moon. Leos, Leo suns and Leo risings. This new moon in Capricorn will fall in your 6th house of physical health, day-to-day routines and work. This is such an important new moon for you, Leos, because it is the perfect time to recommit to managing your work-life balance and your routines, and also your self-care practices as well. This is the time for you to really think about your daily rituals, how often you're taking care of yourself, and what your kind of hopes are for these areas of your life. Is it time to start that new cleanse? Is it time to begin that new workout regimen that's been sitting on the sidelines? Especially if it's a workout regimen that's focused on, like, you know, building strength and increasing your fitness. Those sort of holistic practices that you might have been researching for a while might come in handy around this time, especially if they are focused on your well-being and increasing your mind-body connection. This is also a really good time to set intentions around work. You know, what do you want your day-to-day to look like? How does your ideal work day look? How can you sort of change your immediate environment to help bring that vision into the physical? You know, do you need to deep clean to start fresh, or declutter to make space for the new things that you want to bring in this year? Yeah, very important questions around this time for you, Leos, and the answers will bring you into greater alignment with the person that you want to become in 2026. So keep that in mind around the time of this new moon. Virgos, Virgo suns and Virgo risings. This new moon in Capricorn will happen in your 5th house of creative expression, hobbies, children, romance and dating. So this is quite a light-hearted new moon for you, Virgos. I know that last year was quite intense and you had a lot of intense experiences, but this new moon is calling you to set intention in these areas of like romance and fun. How are you going to cultivate your own pleasure this year? You know, are you going to jump back into the dating scene? Are you going to begin a new hobby? And if you are starting a new hobby, how connected is it to your own inner child? Your creative expression is really, really important. And I know that you value productivity, and I know how valuable productivity and hard work is. But how will you have more fun this coming year? You know, this is a great time to begin those passion projects that you've sort of been dreaming of, and create new memories with the people and the things that bring you a deeper sense of joy. I think it's a really good idea to write these things down, especially because Mercury, your ruler, is in the same area of your chart, and it's very close to the new moon. So follow your passions, dream up some new creative endeavors for you to embark on this year and to try over the next 6 months. Even if you do something creative every day for the next 6 months, like try and do, even if it's something small, share that journey and inspire others to also do the same as well. Librans, Libra suns and Libra risings. This new moon in Capricorn will fall in your fourth house of home, family, roots, and also your personal life as well. This new moon is all about putting down roots in a new space or creating a safe, comforting sanctuary in an existing space. It's a great time to clear out and declutter your living space in order to make room for all the new things that you intend on attracting this year, Librans. I think from a more metaphorical standpoint, this is a time where you're kind of laying new foundations for your own sense of security, especially because this is a year of like new beginnings and new cycles. You might be feeling more inclined to spend time with your family or spend time at home. And you could set the intention to learn more about your own personal roots and your ancestry over the coming months, so that you can kind of strengthen your connection to your own personal heritage, which I think is quite a beautiful thing regardless of where you come from. Reviving, redecorating, and changing your home environment are all favorable things, and there is energy to support these endeavors, with Mars also in this area of your chart. So stay focused. Start laying the groundwork at this new moon for you to continue to build on throughout the year. Scorpio suns and Scorpio risings. This new moon in Capricorn will happen in your third house of communication, short distance travel, and siblings. It's also the house of learning as well. It's an interesting full moon for you Scorpios, because it is one that is calling you to focus on the details as well as the wider picture when it comes to what you want out of the year. So do you want to be more involved in your local community? What are some of the local places that you want to visit this year? Do you want to spend more time with your siblings? Are there any skills that you want to develop or learn over the course of the year? What does the year look like for you in terms of what's occupying your mind? Remember, the third house is a very mental space, and it's largely connected with the how. How am I going to make this work? How am I going to build a strategy to bring me... Oh, my stomach just rumbled. Hopefully you didn't hear that. How am I going to build a strategy to bring me in a closer alignment with my goals and aspirations? It might be quite a busy new moon for you Scorpios. There might be a lot of errands to run. So you can kind of feel like you have everything you need and that you're prepped for the year. So you might be going to the shop. So you might be signing off on things, sending emails, making phone calls. But that doesn't mean you can't take some time to have a think about what you want out of the coming year. The third house is ruled by Mercury, so even if you don't have time to write some of your goals down, try to have like a phone conversation, or can you tell my age when I did this? Apparently kids nowadays do this instead. Try to have a phone conversation, or meet up for lunch with a trusted friend or a sibling in order to kind of gain more perspective on your goals for the year. They might even have some pointers or some advice that will help you on your journey. So do keep that in mind around the time of this new moon. Sagittarius, I feel like I say this the same way every single time. I feel like I'm always like Sagittarius. Sagittarius suns and Sagittarius risings. This new moon in Capricorn will happen in your second house of values, self-esteem, income, and talents. So Sagittarians, this is the perfect time to have a really good look at your finances and think about how you want your finances to look in the upcoming year. Also, Mercury is in this area of your chart as well. So write down any talents that you can monetize, or if there's any like solutions or approaches that are, you know, kind of beyond your current perception that can help you increase your earning potential in 2026. A new moon in this area of your chart lends its support in kind of opening you up to new ways of earning, whether it's in your day-to-day job or something creative on the side. This new moon is also all about your self-care practices as well. Like when it comes to the year ahead, what are some of the self-care practices that or self-care related things that you have been neglecting or you haven't had time for that you would like to do this year? Try not to play it small as well. The energy of Capricorn is very similar to an architect. It's all about laying foundations and putting the blocks piece by piece, so to build this grand picture. So what self-care things can you put in place that are going to increase your self-esteem and self-worth, and how can you do more of that in the coming months? Try to think broadly. I know you're very good at that already, but remind yourself that, there are always solutions beyond your perception. Sometimes our perception is like here, and the solutions and approaches that we need to take are kind of just outside of what we can perceive. So sometimes it's really worth opening your mind. So try to focus on that around the time of this new moon. Capricorn suns and Capricorn risings. This is your new moon. It's happening in your first house of self, identity and physical body, and also life path as well. It's a good time to choose your identity, Capricorns. What type of person do you want to commit to being this year, especially in the areas of like the energy that you carry, the projects you want to work on, the goals you want to achieve. It's time to sort of plant these seeds and sing to them with deep devotion. You might feel this burning desire at 3 a.m. to kind of sit down and write down everything you want to attract and actualize and experience this year. And that's the energy that I want you to lean into, not just this month, but throughout the whole year. Obviously not at 3 a.m. if it's inconvenient, but create some new affirmations as well that will help you feel more fulfilled in life. A lot happened last year. There were some good bits, there was some quite tumultuous bits, but overall, but try to reset yourself, turn over a new leaf and start fresh. You might be tempted to focus solely on the big picture, the larger goals, the more deeper, meaningful things that you want for the year. But what I would say is try and do a bit of both. Yes, set intentions for the deeper things, but also focus on some of the lighter things as well. Think about your personal aesthetic. Get inspired about some of the changes you wanna make. To what your hair looks like, what jewelry you want to wear, what style of clothes you want to wear. These things also matter when it comes to shifting your identity. And it's so funny, I was doing readings at one of our Black Astrology Club mixes, and I was kind of reminding my clients that sometimes the person you want to be isn't 3 or 4 steps ahead of you, or in front. The person you want to be is a side step away, and because it is a sidestep away, the process of stepping into that new frame of being is not easy. You tend to sort of dip between the two energies until you're comfortable. And sometimes changing our appearance and our aesthetic can actually help us change our habits and exist in a new frequency. So do keep that in mind around the time of this new moon. Aquarians, Aquarius suns and Aquarius risings. This is a quiet new moon for you. It is falling in your 12th house of rest, what is hidden, spirituality, dreams, and the subconscious. And it does come a few days before your season, Aquarius season. And it does feel like this new moon is all about setting intentions around your recharge rituals and your spiritual practices, if that's applicable. It's an amazing time to begin exploring a new aspect of your spiritual practice, one that you will feel quite tied to and find inspiration from over the next 6 months. It's also a really good time to take stock of some of the blind spots and, self-limiting habits or beliefs that you became aware of last year, and sort of think about what you can do to mediate them or work through them. Setting intentions around that will help you release and move through the year from a more grounded and self-aware place. I think it's really important to focus on these 12th house matters before you have that new moon in your sign, which will be much more active and much more busy, a much more busy lunation. So doing the inner work first, resting, recharging, getting inspired spiritually during this new moon in Capricorn is a really good way to work with the energy of this lunation and honor the cycles of the cosmos as well. It's a fantastic time to begin therapy or some type of therapeutic practice, and remember to pay attention to your dreams around this time as well. Pisceans, my fellow Pisces suns and Pisces risings, this new moon in Capricorn will fall in your 11th house of friends, groups, community, and long-term goals for the future. So Pisces, this is the time to have a really deep think about what the future looks like for you. What are your long-term goals and dreams, and how can you take steps towards actualizing them in the year ahead? This does feel like a very positive, uplifting and optimistic new moon for you, and it's a fantastic time to set intentions around how you can use the supportive energies to further your own development. And also, this isn't not necessarily just about dreams that you're achieving on your own. The 11th house also rules over groups and friends and communities. So who do you want to collaborate with this year? What group projects do you want to work on, and what are you looking forward to building, not just for yourself but for the communities that you're a part of as well? Things like connections, networking, earning more from your business also falls under the 11th house umbrella. If you're already adept and fulfilled in these areas, think about how you can strengthen your business acumen and your group dynamics and your projects as well. This full moon really is about the bigger picture. Treat yourself kind of like a painter, and this new moon is asking you to kind of focus on the larger vision and take creative accountability in these areas of your life. The details are important, yes, they will come later, but what is the vision that you hold in your heart, and how can you sort of walk towards it starting now? So that is all for today, guys. Remember to like this video and share it with anybody who wants their new moon in Capricorn horoscope, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more horoscopes and astrology updates. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. They're both linked in the description box below, and let me know how you guys plan on setting intentions this new moon. Are you writing it down? Are you talking to a friend about it? Are you vision boarding? Is that even a word? Vision? Are you creating a vision board? Are you making a voice note? How do you plan to commit to the year ahead? I hope everyone's had a fantastic new year, and I will see you for your next set of horoscopes at the full moon in Leo. Happy healing, everyone.